Wake surfing is the big craze in towable water sports right now. It is a lot of fun. It's super easy once you can already wakeboard, and once you give it your first try, you are going to be hooked. What you do need is a big enough wake. Luckily, here at 3 of the Neilson resorts, we have these beautiful Nautique GS20 boats that will provide an endless wave for you to surf. Before giving wake surfing a go, you do need to be quite comfortable on a wakeboard and be able to carve around left and right, toe side and heel side, and that will give you the best chance of getting hold of the wake surfing technique straight away. When you're going wake surfing, you want to make sure you are using a wake surf specific line. Now, how these are different to wakeboard lines is the line itself is a lot thicker, so it's less chance of getting wrapped around you. It's a bit brighter, so you can see it in the water when the boat's coming around to pick you up, and more specifically, the handle is really small. The reason that is that we don't want hands, limbs going through that handle accidentally. The best style of board to get started wake surfing on is a bigger board, and one that is neutrally buoyant. And what I mean by that is one that will sink below the surface of the water, just like a wakeboard does, to make the rolling up onto that board much easier. There are styles of wake surf boards that are really buoyant, made much more like surfboards, and they will make getting up for the first time much more difficult. So you've got your wakeboard boat with a big old wave to surf off, you've got your surf line, and you've got your surfboard ready to get you up out of the water nice and easily. It's time to get to grips with that deep water start. First thing is deciding which side of the wake you are going to go. The easiest way to start is facing the wave. So if you're left foot forward, you're going to be out at the left of the boat, and if you're right foot forward goofy, you're going to be on the right side of the boat. Once you're in the water and about ready to go, you're going to get the surfer pointing in the right direction, depending on which side you're surfing, in between you and the boat, perpendicular to the boat, so at 90 degrees. You're going to rest your line right down the middle of the board. You're going to sit back, letting your jacket float you, and just pop your feet up onto the board, resting your heels near the heel side edge. You want your rear foot quite near the back, and your front foot 3/4 of the way up the board, basically a little bit wider than your normal stance would be on dry land. Then your driver is going to put it into gear and give you a little tension on the line. As the tension comes on and as the boat starts to trickle forward, all you're looking to do with 2 hands on is squeeze your heels down to your butt, your knees up to your chest, keeping your handle out in front of you and high. And as the driver gives a little bit more speed into that fast idle, you're going to let the water push the board up against your feet, and then you'll find yourself in that beginner deep water start position, in which you stay, let the boat go, roll forward, stay low, look, and go. You can already wakeboard, so you're probably thinking, why don't I just stand up straight away? You will get to grips with this really quickly, but to start with, stay in beginner mode, and that means staying smaller for longer. Roll forward, stay in the crouch position, look to the direction you want to go, staying small still, and just head out there, and once you pass the wake, you're going to then stand up slowly. Now you're outside of the wake, you can get yourself up into that neutral riding position that you've already learned on your wakeboard. Start moving around slowly with 2 hands, in and out of the wake, really gently at first, just to get used to that board. Remember, you're not attached, the board rides different to how a wakeboard does, so you've got to get used to it. From there, you're going to move in and out of the wake, not going too far up the wake at first, creeping in, creeping out. And all you're doing, just like those surf carves you've already learned on your wakeboard, is you're rolling your hips over your toes and over your heels. Toes to heels, really gently, in and out that wake. As you get more confident, you're going to creep up the wake a little bit more. As you get more confident still, you're then going to go into full surf mode by letting go with your rear hand. So if you're left foot forward, it's your right hand, and vice versa. With one hand on the handle, you can start to get into that surf carving that little bit more. So really give it some action. It doesn't matter if you fall off at this stage. That's how you're going to improve. So really push the limits of what you can do with those carves. As you start to get more confident with the carving, you'll find yourself going and wanting to go a little bit higher up the wake, because that's what surfing is all about. If you're on a proper wake surf wake, then the wake is going to be big, which means there's a lot to deal with once you get up to the top to then ride it back out. Make sure that you're always pointing the board where you're headed, especially when you're going back out. So if you get to the top of the wake, make sure the board is pointing out to get back out wide, or else if it's pointing at the back of the boat, you'll get tripped up and go over the heel side edge.